Hey everyone, story time. No ponies featured except obviously those in the background. Sunny has decided to put himself back to bed, so it's just me and you. I just want to tell you very quickly. I will say very quickly, but it's never quick because that's not my vibe. But I wanted to tell you about how and why this all started. So I've been collecting My Little Pony now for 22 years. Jeez, I think I felt a wrinkle pop out there and a grey hair come through. 22 years I've been collecting My Little Pony, and despite the accent, I'm based in Australia. Sunny's awake. And Sunny is also 22 years old this year. So he's a very long-lived Velcro parrot, and he's going to scream the whole way through this unless I get him down. Give me a second. Safely secured my t-shirt now, so he will hopefully be quiet. So yeah, 22 years. That's how old Sunny is. They're a long-lived bird. I think that they can go up to 35, so I'm gonna 13 years, dude. So, based in Australia, and one thing I've discovered collecting My Little Pony was it can be reasonably hard to get certain ponies in Australia, but at this point there was the internet, and there was the My Little Pony trading posts, that's the old forums, and then whenever Facebook finally got traction, all these different groups opened up. There was people who were right into collecting ponies much longer than I had been, and you know, when you're into the same things, you start making friends, and I made some incredible friends all over the world from My Little Ponies. I'm not an extra in Alien, that's the parrot, sorry. So I built up these relationships with people, and then probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I started doing international box building. So international box building, where if you buy a heap of ponies from people, but you get them sent to the one location in that same country, and then these individuals gather up these purchases you've made, rebox them, and then send them in bulk out. And I was doing that for my own collection. As you can see, my own collection 4 or 5 years ago was probably a third of the size that it is now. Building boxes exploded my collection amount, and it was amazing because when you gather all these ponies together and your box builder sends them to you in bulk, you save so much money, so you can spend more on those ponies that you need and the upgrades that you need. And then what happened was I ended up getting like a bundle to try and get probably one pony in the bundle. And excuse me, I'm drinking my coffee at the same time because it's story time. You need a hot beverage for story time, pony related, of course. Another example, so Rachel, a friend of mine from the US, I got this from her because, you know, you do not get much that size in Australia. And building these boxes, getting this bundle, I had all these doubles, but I didn't want to make money on them, so to speak. I just wanted to sell them for what I paid for them. And I just got the most sweetest, most beautiful feedback about how affordable it was, and it was magic. And it sparked something that awakened in me this need to use these connections, use these networks with these people that, you know, I had built boxes with to try and get ponies in because they're so hard to get over here, but also to get them in for a good enough price that the Australian collectors aren't spending a fortune on them. Then I had, you know, Caroline's vintage ponies, but it was just little, just sending, you know, doing sales every time I had some time off work. And what a fabulous community. I love community. It's actually what I do for my professional job. It's being very involved in community. And so I was building up these sales, doing these massive sales, getting, again, great friendship, just building friendships, not just overseas, but within the Australian collector community. And the only thing is, I work full time. This little Caroline's Vintage Pony, I don't make money on it. It's not even a side hustle, and it's never going to be a money maker. I break even with it. But it gets my brain moving whenever I'm not at work, and it stops me from finding things to occupy myself that aren't pony related. So the only thing is, doing these big clam sales and everything was just wiping me out. Doing the spas, doing the listings, doing the descriptions, but also the aftercare as well, getting the postage, doing all this sort of conversation stuff, which is grand whenever I have the time, but it can be remarkably overwhelming whenever you're then back at work and you're posting and connecting and everything like that. I need to be able to have some space as well to just be Caroline. So I thought to myself, how do I do this while maintaining that ethos that I still wanted to do? And I thought, build a website, start an online shop, all for the same prices. Yeah, okay, there's certain fees associated with a website and payment in e-commerce and everything like that, but hot diggity dog, the fees and charges at PayPal exactly the same, which I was building in anyway. It allows me to do these things at my own pace and then not have to pre-plan everything, because it was starting to pull a little bit of the enjoyment out of it. So Christmas 2025, I was revamping my logo because I was bored, I was off, and I revamped my logo, and then the idea of the website just sort of rolled from there, and then boom, we've got Caroline's Vintage Ponies now, and it's just growing and growing, and I'm learning how to create things and, you know, how to do the graphic design on it, how to, like these notepads, they've been so incredibly popular, and I had to learn how to make notepads. It's cool. This is mine, not for sale. They're sold out, by the way. They're completely sold out, and I will eventually get around to doing some more, but it's just been such a wonderful creative journey, and it's just been fabulous to connect with so many people on so many different levels with it, and just see how much fun it is. And like I do videos where I sit down and do story times, and videos where I talk about ponies and talk about Sunny and talk about my thoughts, and I've been doing that for a couple of years now, just normally as part of like the little sales group that I've got. And you know, I do my unboxing. I've done my unboxings on YouTube for years now as well, and I thought, let's roll it into one thing, put it under a brand, and just see where it takes us. And the love that I've been getting is just been fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. There is a massive Sunny fan base out there. Who would have thought? 22-year-old little son Conyer that lives in my t-shirt in Australia typically, and if he's not in my t-shirt, he's screaming. So wouldn't we all like that? Wouldn't we all like to live in someone's t-shirt and have their food and drink given to them, and, you know, just be able to scream if they didn't like the circumstances they were in? Maybe that's why people are connecting with them so much. But anyway, less rambles. I told you this wouldn't be quick. The lucky last thing that I do want to talk about is, in these journeys, I've connected with so many different businesses and people who are making art through ponies and making items from ponies and selling ponies and all that, and I want to start featuring them as well. So I've got a couple of ideas, and I'm going to start reaching out to people and saying, hey, you know, I have some of your stuff. I'm going to try not to swear. Some of your stuff, are you okay if I feature it and feature your business? So yeah, I'm very excited about that too, and going to start making tracks on doing that. So yeah, 10 whole minutes. Thank you so much for sitting and listening if you got this far. Really appreciate it. So that's Storytime with Caroline over. Have a great day.